So for those of you seeing the recording, good evening, hope you're well. If you do have any questions whilst you're doing this recording, please don't hesitate to give me a call as well, and hope you're feeling all right. So we'll make a start. And as I've said to the people live, apologies if Scott comes in the middle of it because he's not here yet, but he may come in a sec. Guys, I'll just mute you. Okay. Right, lovely. Okay, so first things first, instead of coming straight down onto the floor, we're going to start up the top today, and I want to go relatively wide. So we're just going to get inner thighs working a little bit, and then we'll do some outer thigh work as well. So I want to do a few bits standing up, but first of all, let's just make sure that we're stretched. So what we're going to do is roll down. So come sort of quite wide, roll it down, and then just drop your head and drop your hands onto the floor. Hold it here for a second, then we're going to roll it back up again. So just bring your arms up, deep breath in and down. Just make sure that your back is getting a nice curve as opposed to coming flat down. Arms down, hands onto the floor, drop your head. Deep breath in here and then roll it back up. Now you may feel just a little bit down the back of your legs, down on the inside of your thighs. Just mildly though, arms up, deep breath in and down. That's it, one more. Now we're going to roll down and stay down. Okay, hands onto the floor. So bring your feet a little wider if it's comfortable to do so. I want you to drop your head and really try and sort of sit backwards a bit. Now what you'll feel, hopefully, is that yes, it is down the back of your legs, but it comes right around to your adductor muscles, which are inner thighs. And just try to relax. Okay, bring your head up and straighten your arms. And then we're going to just lift so your fingertips are on the floor. And then what we're going to try to do is straighten your back. Now, if you stay where you are, what I'm going to do is move so you can see what I'm doing. Apologies, sorry everyone, apologies in advance also for the people who've seen this recording. These leggings are not high enough, so I'm really sorry in advance for anything you see that you may not want to. Can't do anything about it at the moment. So just fingertips on the floor and look up and then flatten your back. So legs straight, back straight, and then you're just going to fold down and curl your back down. And then back up again, up onto your fingertips, look forwards and straight back. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And then down and drop your head down. Right, now we're actually going to do the opposite. So I want you to walk your hands through and try and get your fingertips past your feet as much as possible. Drop your head. This isn't that easy. You do have to balance a little bit, okay? So just be aware of trying not to tip forwards or backwards. Hold it here. That's quite strong. That's quite a strong stretch, that one. And then walk your fingertips back. That's it. And then walk your fingertips forwards and drop your head. Good. Lift, walk them back again. So all the way through. Fingertips, fingertips, walk them, walk them, walk them. Head down, drop. Hold it here, strong stretch. And then walk forwards, fingertips forwards, drop your head. Good. Okay, come back to the center. Just roll your feet in slightly. Very, very slightly bend your knees, and we're going to roll up. And then straighten your legs once you stack your vertebrae. Arms all the way up, deep breath in. And then arms down. Relax your shoulders. Lovely. If you are still relatively wide, I just want you to jump just do a little jump in, so you've just jumped your feet together. Just give your legs a good little shake. Okay, now we're going to go back wide again. And this time, what I want you to do is shift your weight. So we're going to shift weight to one side. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight. Now with your feet, I want them to remain on the floor and slightly forward still. So you don't need to bring it to the sides. It's still slightly forward. That's it, and just sink down. Now, depending on flexibility, it will be how far you sink down, or depending on your knee. So if your knee is starting to go, oh, sit back further. Okay, literally just sit back. It takes the pressure off your knee. Bring yourself up, and then you're going to come to the other side. Now, apologies in advance because my knee is playing up today, this one. So I'm going to sit right back. And feel that stretch. This leg needs to be doing something, but the stretch is all the way down here. That's where you should be feeling this. Come up, and then over to the other side. Nice and slowly. Really sink it down. And up. And again, sink it down the other side. Sink it down, sink it down, sink it back. Hold it. And then back up. Lovely. Right, staying in this position, what I'd like you to do is turn. So what will happen here is your foot comes to the front, and then the other leg comes, the toe comes up, heel off, and your toe will be taking that. Now, if that is massively uncomfortable because it's cramping your toe, bring yourself much further in, okay? So you're like that. But if you can, you're stretching out, and we're trying to get a really deep lunge. And again, definition of deep lunge is different for different people. So if you're here, you're like, no, that's quite comfortable, that's absolutely fine. If you're up here, that's absolutely fine. If you are down here, that's also absolutely fine. So wherever is comfortable for you, and then we're going to sink. Just sink yourself down into that position. Chest up, shoulders back. Lovely. Bring yourself up, and then we're going to spin round to the center and then swap round, okay? So whatever it is, that's not that conducive for that. Just get into that position, sink yourself down. Again, width of your legs is up to you. Just make sure your hips are facing forwards, okay? No twist, no forwards. And just drop and sink down. Good. Bring yourself back up and back to the center again. Right. Okay, now we're going to come back round again and bring yourself back to that point. And then you're going to bring your hip, so you're going to hinge down. Try and keep your hands on your hips and keep your hips forwards. Hinge down. That should be a little bit harder, so your back is straight. If you want to make this harder, I want you to bring your hands in front of you. That is significantly harder. So if you're struggling to hold that, just bring it back down here, okay? Completely up to you. Feel that quad working. Bring yourself back up. And then spinning round. And then same again. So twist. That's it. Just get your balance. You're hinging forwards. And if you want to add the arms in, right by your ears, nice and low. Your quad will be feeling this. Your balance has to work. Warming those legs up. Bring it back and up, and then back to the center. Lovely. Okay, right. In this position, so this mat's a bit squidgy. Now we're going to sit backwards. Okay, so we're into a nice deep squat position. I'll do this to the side. I cannot emphasize this enough. Sit backwards. So you're not sitting down, you're sitting back. As if you've got, or you may well have, stool, sofa, chair, something behind you. So you're like sitting back onto it. Hold it here, and then we're going to come back up. and bring it down nice and slowly. Sink, sink, sink. Pull your tummy in, keep that nice form, and then back up. Good, deep breath in, out breath, down we come. Hold it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back up. Lovely. Right, just give your legs a little shake. And again, I want you to jump your legs in. That's it. And then give them a shake again. Fantastic. Right, so that your legs should feel quite warm now. Hips, inner thighs, they should be feeling quite stretched. Whilst we're up here, just a little bit of balance work, because again, when there's high stress levels, balance tends to go quite quickly because obviously everyone's tired and not concentrating. So let's try and still our mind a little bit and think. I want you to think, right, I can do this. I'm going to calm to be able to do the balance. Not, I need to do this quickly and then you'll wobble around all over the place. So this is actually, yes, it is an exercise in balance. It's also an exercise in calming your mind a little bit. So plaster your foot. If you are on a particularly squidgy mat, I would come off of it because it doesn't necessarily help. And then you're going to put one foot in front of you, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Hands on your hips and really try and sort of balance your posture. Squeeze your glutes very, very slightly, and then we're going to lift that leg up. Now again, balance, yes, but your quad is having to do something, and try really hard to relax. Concentrate on something just in front of you that's not moving, and it should stop the wobbling. Now we're going to bring that leg through and straighten it just out. Now, just make sure it's just off the floor, okay? It's not right up here. It's just off the floor. And what I don't want you to do is hinge, okay? So you're right upright. You may feel it very slightly here. Your glutes have to do something very slightly. Bring it back through. Try not to touch the floor, and then bring it up again. Just relax your shoulders. Bring it through and out. Beautiful. Okay, and relax down. Wonderful. Right, let's do the same thing the other side. I'm just going to quarter turn so you can see me, but I can see you. So bringing the other leg up. Try very hard to focus. That's it. Lovely. Bring it through and point. Good. Bring it through and up. Very nice. Try to stop any wriggling. Just relax. And through and point. 2, 1. Lovely. Bring it down. Good. Again, just give yourself a little jig. Fantastic. Right, let's see how we're doing this way, not that way now. So again, start with one foot nice and plastered to the floor and bring your leg out. Now we're going to counterbalance. Tip me up. No, sorry. So bring your arm out and then hand wherever it is that's fine for you to stabilize. And then we're going to lift. I really don't want too far of a lift, okay? Just make sure that your leg is stabilizing. Your outer thigh is now doing some work. You may feel that very slightly, and actually your shoulder is doing a tiny bit of work as well. That's it, and bring it down. Okay, we're going to swap. One arm out and lift. Hold it there. Stop any wobbling, concentrate, and bring it down. Lovely. Right, let's exaggerate that slightly. Now, these muscles here would have woken up and gone, oh God, is it my turn? So that's absolutely fine. That's what it should be, slightly on your glutes as well. Okay, bring your leg out. And now what we're going to do is exactly the same thing. Bring it up, and then we're going to pulse. Just your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. Bring it down. That would have woken it up. And the other side. Arm out. Squeeze your glutes. Lift. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring it down. Oh, give your legs a shake. Brilliant. Okay. Right, just to get out of that slightly, we're just going to do a roll down again, but just with your legs hip width apart. So just roll it down. Relax your back, relax your legs, relax your head, everything. All the way down. Hold it here and roll up. Roll, 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 roll. Arms up, lift up. And relax down. Excellent. Just give your shoulders a little roll. And the other way. Wonderful. Right, whilst we're here, if you can see me, okay, I'm just going to lift this up very slightly. We're going to bring one arm across. Just hold it here. Now, what happens very regularly here is everyone's shoulder is right up. So if you've got that position, I want you to sink it down. So you've got the position, sink it down. That's it. Okay, bringing it down and bringing it across. Arm in and sink that shoulder down. Good. Okay, arm up. And then we're going to drop one side. Now with this, I'm going to turn this way. Try really hard not to do that. So squeeze your glutes and bring it across. Keep that tummy nice and tight. And up and over. Relax your shoulders, squeeze. Good, let's do that again. So bringing it up. And you may feel this time that it is a little bit looser, more loose. A bit more of a stretch here. And up. Nice and tall and over. Squeeze those glutes, just make sure that you don't fall forwards or backwards. Good. Okay, bringing it up. Right, one for this plane is keeping your back straight. So sort of slightly wider than hip width. Keep your back straight and hinge. So again, you're feeling that down the back of your legs. Don't go any further than 90. Don't need to. And then bring yourself back up and move your hands back behind you. And then we're going to create a little bridge. Now, for goodness sake, don't go mad with this. I don't want your back pinching. Really stretch your chest out and actually squeeze your shoulder blades. Where that should get, if you come back to center, is across your pectorals here. Shoulder blades will feel it slightly because they're stretching, but it's your abs. So you should feel that stretching your abs out rather than hurting your back. Really, really important that, because people just go, oh, this huge back bend, and it will pinch all the way there. What it's supposed to do is stretch all of this out rather than hurt there. So let's go forward again. So again, straighten your back up, hands firmly on your hips, and then hinge. Your legs should be straight, your back should be straight. You should feel that right down the back of your legs, hamstrings. Keep your stare just to the front of your mat. Bring yourself up. Hands behind the back. Bring it back. Squeeze and squeeze the shoulders. Please don't go as far if you don't want to and you can't. Bring yourself back up. Lovely. Right, this plane. So with this one, we're normally on the floor, to be honest, and we will do something like that. But what I want you to do now is really try and concentrate and keep your hips forward and then bring your arm round with you. So the position is that, okay? Here. Twist, look over. Keep your hips facing me. That's it. And bring it back to center. Hands on your hips, other one across. Hand onto your shoulder and look round. Excellent. Bring it back to center. Let's do that again. Hand on your hip, other hand on your shoulder and look round. It should feel like a really nice stretch all the way around your trunk area. And back, and the other side, and twist. And back again. Wonderful. Okay, just have a little stretch and a little shake out. Very good. Right. Lots of backs of leg and inner thigh work there. Balance really addressed there as well. I want to come down onto the floor, but before we do that, I want to just do one more exercise that involves working those outer thighs. So they have been warmed up, but could you take, if you have a band, if you don't, doesn't matter, because you can do this perfectly okay without. If there is a choice, I would go for the lighter one, if possible. Lighter, it doesn't need to be light. And we're just going to put that around our ankles. Now, this is stronger than it looks, is probably the best way of saying this. So if you really start to struggle, it's because it's really hard. That's why. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. So I'd want you to put your weight onto one side, doesn't matter which, because we're doing both. And you're just going to lift your foot off the floor, and then we're going to push out. Now, you can't go out too far because the band's stopping you. You can't go in too far because the band will fall off. Very, very slightly bend the knee that you're standing on, very slightly. And we're just going to push out. Keep going. 7. Okay, let's do one more. Good. Okay, swap legs, swap weight. Lift your foot off, just slightly bend that knee, and then we're pushing out again. Now, again, depending on, well, depending on what you've been doing in the last couple of days, this might be quite uncomfortable, or you might not feel it much. It will add up. Very much will add up. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Put your foot down. Oh, and give it a little shake out. Right, let's do the same thing again. So bring the weight over, lift your foot off, and up we go. That's it, good, concentrate. And 3 more. Oh, this is adding up for me. 3, 2, I'm glad I didn't put the green one on. And 1, bring it down. Steve, depends on what you've chosen. Okay. That's it, keep going. Adds up, adds up. And 3, 2, and 1, bring your foot down. Oh, give it a shake. Okay, right, now those of you that have joined me in a physical class before, you are going to be reminded of something that we did quite a while ago, and you'll be like, oh God. So what I'd like you to do is, if you are in the middle of your mat, come to the end of your mat. Okay, just jump to the end of your mat. Now we're going to do some little crab walks. Oh yes. Now you can do that action as well. I'd particularly like to see that. That would be good. Bend your knees so you're in something called a racing stance. So like you're literally just about to go off. So you've got your knees bent and your back straight and your bum backwards a little bit. So we're going to nice and slowly walk your way to the end of the mat, or walk your way across your living room. and then back again. Keep those knees bent, it takes the pressure off your back. Should be all right now. Walk there and back. This one adds up. This is a grower, this one. And then back again. That's it. Lovely. Okay, come up, shake it off. Shouldn't have been too horrific. Now we're going to go a little bit faster. Cardio may kick in a little bit here, just a little bit. I don't want you to be absolutely shattered, but we need to go a little bit faster now. So pace, 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 pace. Crab walk, crab walk, crab walk, back again. Now this time we're going to do 4 in a row, so don't stop. Back and back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back again. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, you should have kicked in a bit more now. Ooh. Right. And again, for those of you who've done this in the physical class, you know I'm going to go faster now. Now, if we had some music, I'd be like, let's pump some music, but probably haven't got some music at home. So we're going to go a little bit faster now, but again, we're going to do 4. So there and back before you stop, okay? Try super hard to keep that position because that's the one doing the work on your muscles, right? Are we ready? Off you go. So pace. 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ah, woo, it's a killer. Right, turn towards your mat. So we're not on the side now, we're in front. And then we're going to bring the band as far apart as you can. And then we're going to bend those knees again. And now we're going to do a John Wayne walk. Now, some people are very, very glad they're not next to me in this class, I can well imagine, because it does look quite funny, but it is actually really not that easy. So pick up one foot, move it forwards. Pick up one foot. That's it. Now you can see why this is called the John Wayne walk. That's it. So work your way along the mat. And then don't turn around, go backwards. It is harder. If you are on mat, carpet, rug, something, just be careful not to trip over something. Okay, let's keep going. So forwards, really stretch. Use that band, use the resistance. That's it. And back again. Keep your form. You have to balance. And last one. And back. Good. Whew. Excellent. Right. Let's take these bands and bring them up. So now they are just above your knees. If you do want to swap bands and you want to go a little bit heavier, then by all means, please do. But what I'd like you to do is 45 degrees with your feet and relatively wide, so wider than your own hips. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to sit back and use the resistance of that band. And then I want you to do a tiny little squeeze and then back up again. So I'll do that to the front so you can see. So we're going to come down. The knees go past the toes. Okay, really important they don't come in because they want to. Use your muscles to keep that out. And then you're going to do a tiny, tiny little movement out and then up. Okay, let's try that again. So down, nice and low, out and up. Watch your knees if knees are starting to creak. Sit back, squeeze out and up. Good. Let's go 3 more. Down, squeeze out and back up. Down, squeeze and up. And 1 more. Down, squeeze and back up. Beautiful. Well done. Right, bring your legs together, drop the band. You'll be very, very glad to hear for now anyway. Right, again, give those legs a little shake. And then we're going to come down. You'll be very glad to hear, probably. onto the floor. I'm just going to move the camera down. Right. So I very rarely ask you just to plonk yourself on the floor. So we're going to roll down. So come to the end of your mat, roll it down. Ooh, all the way down. Bring it out into a downward dog position. And sit your heels back, drop your head. Breathe and relax. Relax, relax, relax. Back of your legs. Back, head, arms. Come up onto your toes. And then push back. And again, up and push back. Good. Now up and forwards, onto all fours. That's it. Okay, untuck your toes. We're going to come up into a cat stretch. Really stretch that back out. Through to the center and lift. Lift your head, drop your belly button, and through to the center and up. Through and sink. Good. Right. Come to the center. One knee forwards. Put your other leg up. Get your foot out the way. We're going to a pigeon pose. And we're going to sink down. So hopefully that was clear. You're going to sink right down. And what you do need to do is get that foot out the way. Just slightly, okay? So it doesn't matter how far out. That depends on your knee flexibility, actually, sometimes. And just sink yourself down. This may feel quite strong. Depending on what you've been doing today, that might feel quite uncomfortable. Just, if it is, just put your hands quite close to your knee and just take a bit of pressure off. If you're like, no, that feels really nice. Oh, thank God. Just sink down. So you're going to hinge forward and sink your chest onto your thigh and then just drop down. Remember, you've got those two options. If it's really uncomfortable, stay right at the top. If it's particularly uncomfortable, come out of it. And then we're just going to rock really, really gentle little rocks. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands by your knee again. We're going to tuck our back toe under and then come up into a plank position. Hold it there for a second. And then we're going to come other knee forwards, move that foot out the way, sink down. And then again, stay here if that feels comfortable to do so, and fold down if that feels comfortable. Drop your head and then just start your little rocks. Lots and lots of tension held in hips. So this might feel particularly uncomfortable if you are very stressed, but it very much will help. Okay, stop the rocks. Bring your hands to the side. Tuck your toe under. Come into a plank. Right, now, drop your knees. With the plank position, I want to do a little bit of an exercise that involves that. If it is too strong, you don't need to come up into a full plank, okay? Because it can be quite tough on shoulders, this one. So we're going to start in a plank position. We're going to bring our knees down. We're going to fold backwards, fold forwards, and then use our arms for a push-up. So it's a little bit of a sequence, but let me show you. So make sure you're in the center of your mat. Come into a plank. So your weight is nicely over your hands. Okay, stay in the plank. We're going to drop our knees. We're going to sit back. Put your nose and or forehead on the floor. Up. Lean forwards. Push those hips forwards. And then we're going to use our arms to control down. Deep breath in. And push up. Now you're going to try to do that as one. I would advise really, really using your core to help you with that. So if you really tense your core, that will help you come up into one. Put your feet down. Let's do that again. So you're starting into the plank position, really nice and solid. I could put my dinner on your back. Bring your knees down, come back, sit back into a child's pose. Drop your nose onto the floor, bring yourself up, forwards, elbows backwards, sink yourself down, deep breath, tighten your core and lift, breathe out. Very good. Okay, let's try that one more time. Hopefully you've got the flow now. It's not that easy, but okay, into your plank position. Hold it there. Squeeze, hold, knees down. Untuck your toes, bring yourself back. Touch, forwards, and down. Use those triceps. Bring yourself to the floor. Deep breath in. Tense your core and lift. Good. If you haven't quite got that lift yet, that's something to work on, because what can happen is this, and you curl up. Now, that is a way of getting up, but it's not ideal because it may pinch your back slightly. So very, very good. If you manage that all in one, absolutely excellent. So just bring, if it's comfortable to do so, bring yourself back onto your heels. Wrists have to take a bit of that, so just roll our wrists. That's it, and the other way. Very good. Give them a little shake. Fantastic. Right. Just bring yourself round onto your bum. And then we're going to bring ourselves slightly to this end of the mat. Hands out in front of you. Just make sure your feet are on the floor as much as possible. And then we're going to tilt down. Roll it down. Try and keep this nice and tight. And we're coming down onto the floor. Lovely. Right, just for 1 second, just if your back's feeling particularly tight, it might just do a little kind of complaint at you. So just tilt your pelvis and just let it relax for a second. Relax your shoulders down. We haven't been in this position yet, so it might just take a second to relax. Get your breath back, because some of the movement we've been doing a little bit more cardio today. Excellent. Right, hands behind your head. And just relax your shoulders and your elbows out. Feet are flat on the floor, relatively close to your glutes, but whatever's more comfortable for you. So we're going to do a little crunch exercise, and it is 5 crunches and then 5 oblique crunches. We're going to go nice and slowly, and we're going to think about the form of each one. It is not, oh, she's asked me to do 10 crunches, so I'm just going to crack them out. Not at all. So tilt your pelvis, deep breath in, out breath, lift your head and your shoulders and keep that nose up to the ceiling and down. Deep breath in and squeeze and lift. Let's keep going. Deep breath in, lift. And 5th one. Okay, now the oblique one is take one hand and we're bringing it across your body. So you're lifting and twisting. So it's a very mildly different move, but you'll feel that your oblique has to kick in to do that. So we're going to alternate. So alternate your hand behind your head, lift and twist. Join in when you can. Remember your breathing. Breathe out and lift. Opposite hand. Nice and slowly, really slowly. Lift and twist. Lovely. Eight. So we've got one more each side. 9. And last one. Lovely. Nice and controlled back down. Rest it down. Oh. Feet and knees together. And then flop your knees to one side and just unlock what you've just worked. Try and keep your shoulders on the floor and just rest all the way around the front and a little twist in your back. Best position ever. Oh. Okay, bringing it up and over. Good. Okay. Right, bringing your knees in, and we're just going to do little tiny circles on your lower back. And the other way. Bring one leg towards you, knee in, and just put that foot down on the floor. Just tap your toe onto the floor. You don't need to stretch it out. Tap that toe on the floor and keep that knee really nice and close. Your hip flexor should feel that. And let's bring that knee in and swap. Knee in really super close as you can get it. And then just tap that foot, toe onto the floor. Beautiful. Good. Right, we're going to finish ce soir with a little bit more of a glute burn. So if you want to come back to your band, I would possibly advise the slightly heavier one if you've got a choice. If you don't, it doesn't matter at all. So Steve, if you want to go for your slightly heavier one. Okay, wrap it around your knee so it's about an inch or so down from there, so it's fairly high up. And then we're going to roll back down. Now, feet nice and close to your glutes. And I want to do an exercise in you deciding whether your left or your right set of glutes are stronger. I'm very well aware that my left is significantly worse than my right, and I work quite hard to try and even them out. But you may not know, and so I just want to do a little exercise in deciding which ones. So if you do know that you're, say for example, you're right-handed and your left glute is very, very weak, that you can do something about it. So the way to do that is if you just roll up and half roll up, so you're not quite on the top of your shoulders, but you're down the bottom of your shoulders. I want you to keep your left leg still, and then you're going to move your right away. So move it back and forth. So just move your right leg out. That's it. Squeeze and out. Good. Let's do two more this side. Squeeze and squeeze. Okay, exactly the same thing on the left. If you can feel a difference, just note, oh my God, that's much harder. And please be aware of your feet lifting. So your feet need to stay flat on the floor, including your big toe. If it's trying to roll, keep it flat on the floor. It's your muscles trying to cheat. Okay, one more on your left. Good. Right, let's do both. Squeeze out. Stay in this position. Halfway up. Squeeze. Squeeze. That's it. And one more. Good. Okay, bring your knees back to hip width and just roll it down and unlock. Excellent. Right, so let's try that again. So we're going to pulse this time, so it's a bit harder. So roll halfway up. Now, some people find this easier, some people find it harder, and it depends on what your, basically, depends on what your muscles are stronger at. So this may be a little harder than all the way up here. Personally, I find it harder down here. So again, let's start with your right, and we're going to bring it out first. So keep your left exactly where it is, bring it out, and then we're going to pulse. So out, out. 10, 9, watch your foot. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, swap. So your right stays, left is out. Right out, and 10, 9, 8, watch your foot. 7, 6, oh, that adds up. 3, 2, 1. Keep it there, bring it in, keep it there. Squeeze those glutes. They should be quite uncomfortable now. So right out 10, 10, 9, 8, 7. Try and keep your hips up a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And swap. Out you go. 10, 9. Tiny little moves. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it in, roll it down. Oh, ha, ha. Bring your knees in. Ah. Oh. Now, hopefully that should have been quite uncomfortable. Should be feeling that right. One leg over the other, and just bring that in and just relax that top glute out. Oh, especially if you've got a strong band on, that should have been good, that one. Lovely. Okay, crossing over to the other side and bringing it in. There we go. Oh, relax, 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 release. Wonderful. Okay, band off, and I just want you to hook it around both feet. Stretch your legs out, straighten those legs, and then just pull that in like little reins. Now try to keep your back straight on the floor. Right at the bottom, even just flat on the floor. Now it doesn't mean so that you're going to be able to bring your legs in too much, but that is a strong old stretch down the back of your legs. Now bend your legs very slightly, and you're going to roll yourself up. Try to do it with grace and decorum. And then you're leaning forward. And drop your head. You're still holding on to the band. Lovely. Okay, just release that band and bring yourself up to seated. Crossing your legs. I'm going to bring those, stretch out your hips and bring your head forwards, drop down. Again, if that's not working for you today, or it doesn't normally work too well, even if you're up here, that's absolutely fine. Just hands forward and drop your head.